Alright, here we are working on the R53, doing the one ball exhaust mod. And the first thing we want to do is take out these 4 10mm bolts for the exhaust plate. And the next step will be cutting the pipe right about there. So we'll go ahead and remove these. After you have the protection plate removed, you want to get in here and you should have an exhaust pipe looking like this. If it doesn't look like this, you're doing it to the wrong car. Now, your first cut wants to be right there. Cut that straight, and then we'll show you the next cuts in a second. Perfect.
How do I make sure I'm straight? That's the real question.
Oh no, you'll figure it out though.
Dude, I need to two-hand this shit. Right.
After you make that cut, it'll look something like that, and that part will start hanging down. It'll be all floppy. You want to take a 10mm wrench or whatever you have, a socket, undo the 2 bolts on each side of the exhaust tank straps, holding them up, that come up there, and this whole back half of the exhaust will drop, where we'll make our other cuts and start our welds.
Yes!
Actually, no, you just take
one off?
Yeah, you take that one off, and then you can take the other one off, and you can bend them out of the way. And then we'll drop the back half.
Yeah.
If anyone's curious what an R53 sounds like straight piped, here you go.
Holy! One sec, I gotta get the biz. Dude, take us past.
Give her a quick rev for my video. Alright, I forgot to tell you guys, once you have it off, it'll look like this. Make your first cut right here. And then flip this thing on top of this thing. And kind of line it up so this is down the middle of those two. And then you want to make a second cut on this pipe right before the bend on that one. After you make that cut, that muffler and that piece of pipe is now garbage. You're going to have that pipe. Originally goes on the car like this. All we're going to do is flip it around. And now we're going to kind of do some measuring. I'm not going to go into detail on it. It's kind of just some eyeball work. You just want to make sure this tip is in between those 2 tips right there. Straight line. That way, once you weld it back onto the car, all set it is good. And this, you just kind of want to keep cutting down on this pipe and this pipe, so this one slides into this bend right here. So maybe cut like right here, cut a little down on that, so that kind of slips in. And then once we get to that part and get our cuts, we'll start welding and we'll go. Cuts good, and you have your piece that is going to go into this exhaust. It's a good idea to put this muffler on, this side of the muffler on, so you can test fit this and make marks where you want to weld. So your welds are straight, not necessarily your welds are straight, but you want to make sure that your exhaust tips come out the back end normal and everything's straight. And if you do it right, you're going to need to add 2 inches of the smaller diameter pipe, give or take, onto the tip of your exhaust up here where you made your very first cut. That's just from twisting it the 180 degrees. So once we finish our welds, or actually I'll show you when we get our... While you're under the car and you have everything off, it's a good idea to take this heat shield off. There's 2 bolts, I want to say they're 10mm on either side up there, and you can slide that across and out from under that. And This is what this should look like after you weld. This is the weld we make. We're gonna weld the 2-inch extension onto here so it'll pop out to right about there. And then we'll be ready to hook this back up onto. Alright, boys and girls. Think we got her. There's the weld onto the original pipe. There's the weld into the bend. And here's the muffler just going out. And we got rid of the one muffler right there. And that is the DIY R53 1-ball exhaust mod with no aftermarket purchases or nonsense. So there you go.